Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. So for today we're going to be recreating this inspired look right here. If you can't already tell, I love doing colorful looks and I love how this came out. So if you guys want to see how, then please keep watching. So the first thing I like to do is I like to take a concealer and I like to put it all over my eye space. And what this does is going to give me an even toned surface to work on. And I like to use the Morphe Cosmetics Mega Waterproof Concealer. Next, I'm going to be taking this brush. It's by GLF Cosmetics, and it comes in a bundle set, which I'll link down below for you guys. And I'm just going to pick up that red shade in the palette, and then just with patting motions, I'm going to really pack this color in the inner corner. And I'm going to gradually build up this color as well. So just keep in mind that I'm using a very light hand when I'm applying these shades. I'm not pressing too hard. I'm just lightly dabbing it into the area that I want. Now by using this technique, it's going to really get the shade to stick to the concealer. So like I said, just keep applying some until you get to the intensity you want it. And it's okay that the edges are not blended out yet. Don't worry about that. I usually go back in the end or towards the middle, and then I'm going to fix that. Now I'm going to fast forward just a little bit, but I'm going to keep the shade about right here. Next, I'm going to be picking up that yellow shade from the palette on this Lamora Beauty 112 brush. And then I'm going to apply that right next to the red shade that we just applied. And it's okay if they overlap because I want to create that orange hue. And like we did the first shade, I'm just going to apply this with patting motions to get it to stick next to that red shade. Next, I'm going to be taking this tapered blending brush, and I believe this is by Morphe, but there's no number on it. I'm going to take a little bit of that green, and I'm going to just pat it right next to that yellow. And like I said, if it overlaps, it's fine because we can create that lime green hue. Now, the reason why I didn't just start off with the lime green shade to begin with is because I like to have the darker shades towards the crease, into the crease area, because it gives it more of a depth effect when you cut your crease. So now I'm taking just a small amount of that lime green, and I'm just going to buff the edge out of this darker green shade. And as always, I use a very light hand when blending out, and I take a small amount of product at a time. You don't want to, I guess you can say, stab it into the skin, because then it's going to be hard to blend out. Next, I'll be taking this blue shade on a Lamora Beauty 111 brush, and I'm going to apply this on the outer corner right next to the green area. And I'm just going to gradually apply this shade, and I'm going to blend it upwards as well. And I'm going to take it a little bit further out. Now I'm going to be taking the purple shade in the palette in the same brush, and I'm just going to apply this on the outer corner and just blend it with that blue shade that we just applied. Next, I'll be taking this brush by Glitter Rumco. It's a very soft blending brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit more of that purple, and I'm going to start to blend it out. And again, using a very light hand, I'm going to hold the brush right here as well. And I'm just going to lightly brush over the skin. Just also gently, you don't want to press it too hard like I mentioned before. Next, I'm going to be picking up some of that lime green on that brush that we used earlier. And I'm going to apply it in the area where the dark green and the yellow meet. And I'm just going to buff it upwards so that we can start blending out these harsh lines. And since I'm using this type of brush, I'm just going to use patting motions and then just slightly dragging it upwards. Next, I'll be taking more of that yellow shade, and I'm just going to apply it in the same area that we did before. And now I'm going to deepen that red just a little bit as well and do the same thing that we did in the first step. And now I'm going to start to blend out the edge of this red shade. You see how it's kind of harsh right there? I'm going to take this smaller blending brush, and I'm just going to drag it upwards. I always like to have my edges nice and smooth. I like to have that gradient effect. It's obviously up to you how smooth you want it to be. And this brush is super soft. It's one of my favorites to use when blending. This one's by GLF Cosmetics, and it's one of those that came in the bundle set. And so I'm just lightly brushing it over the edge of the shade, and then I'm going to continue to do it until it's to the desired look that I want. Next, I'll be picking up this concealer brush by Glitter Realm Co. and then some more of that Moira Cosmetics Mega Waterproof Concealer. And I'm going to start by applying a good portion on my lid area. And then to cut my crease, I'm just going to look up. And then it's going to give me a guideline of where I want to go. I'm going to take this a little bit above where my actual crease line is. And I'm just going to drag the excess concealer downwards. Now when it gets to the end, I'm going to wing it outwards and then drag the excess concealer down. And I kind of want to take it higher, so I'm going to carve out a line that's higher than this one. And then I'm going to clean up this line with a small e.l.f. concealer brush. So I always use this small e.l.f. concealer brush to clean my lines up. And you can buy this at the drugstore. It's about 99 cents. And it's a little bit thicker when you first receive it, but since I've used this one so many times, it's already flattened out, which is why I love this particular brush. I have like 10 of these, but I prefer this one. And so I'm just going to really clean up that line to make it nice and as perfect as I can get it. Now once it's to my desired shape, I'm going to take the concealer brush with no excess concealer, and I'm just going to smooth it out just so we can have a flatter base to apply more eyeshadows. But I'm not going to set it with any setting powder or anything. I'm going to directly go and apply some eyeshadows on top of the concealer. Next, you can skip this part if you don't like using tape, but I'm going to apply some tape so that I can have a nice crisp edge once this is done. I don't always use this method. If you wanted to, you can just clean it up later with concealer, but I'm just going to use this method for today. Now I'm going to take some of that purple shade on another small e.l.f. concealer brush, and I'm going to start packing that on the lower portion, and I'm going to take it all the way to the tape. And I start by just patting it on there just so that it can stick more, and then I'll go over it with another layer or two. And now I'm just going to fast forward this part, but I'm going to be applying this as I would eyeliner, and I'm going to take it far out. I'm going to leave this in so that you can see how far I take it. Now I'm going to take it to about right there, and now I'm going to take some of the blue shade on the same e.l.f. concealer brush, and I'm just going to apply that right above where I applied the purple and do the same thing. And it might look a little bit messy at first, but don't worry, we're going to go back and finish everything and make sure it's all blended well together. And now I'm going to be taking some yellow, and I'm going to do the same thing. And don't worry if they overlap. We want to create all the colors of the rainbow. I like to blend my colors together first before I go in with the actual color. Like here, I could have applied green first, but I'm going to apply the yellow so that I know how much space I have left. And then I'm going to apply some green over it. You'll see as we go. And now I'm going to apply another layer of that blue since we lost some of the intensity when we applied the yellow. And now I'm going to be taking a little bit more of that yellow to deepen up that color. And actually this yellow is from the GLF Cosmetics Princesa Azteca palette. I love this yellow. It is a little bit more vibrant, so I'm going to use this one here. Now if I'm using the same brush, I just give it a quick wipe off on the towel just so that I can use a different color on it. Of course I do wash my brushes regularly, but this is just how I do it if I don't have enough brushes available. So now I'm taking a little bit of green, and I'm going to apply that in between the blue and the yellow. And now I'm going to be taking some red, and I'm going to apply that above the yellow and right on top of the edge of it as well. And right here, I'm just going to smooth out the concealer that's sort of starting to crease. And now I'm just going to continue applying and packing on that red. So here's a little bit of a close-up. I'm going to start blending this red and yellow together so that we can start creating that orange. And now I'm actually going to apply some orange in between. And now I'm going to take some NYX glitter primer and I'm going to just apply it in that area that we have concealer left over. And sorry, I didn't realize that my hand was covering this the whole time, but I hope you guys get the point. And next I'll be taking some glitter. This one's by Glitter Romco, and I'm just going to apply it directly on top of that. Here I'm just going to brush off any of the glitter fallout. And I'm going to remove the tape. And for the lower lash line, I'm going to be applying the same shades I did on the top. Red, yellow, green, blue, purple. And for the red, I'm using the Montezuma shade from the GLF Cosmetics Princesa Azteca palette. Because I love this red shade. It's just a little bit more vibrant. Next, I'll be taking this small Sigma blending brush and I'm just going to smoke out that lower lash line. And next, I'll be curling my lashes, applying some mascara, and then I'm going to apply some false lashes, which I am so sorry, you guys. I can't remember which lashes I use in this video, but if I do find out, I'll definitely edit my description box and put them down below. And for my waterline, I'm going to be applying this ColourPop Cream Gel Liner, and I believe the color is Puppy. And I do have a discount code with them as well. I will link that down below for you guys. So this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything that you guys want to see next or see me try to recreate, then leave it down below in the comment section. And I'll try to get back to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a blessed week and we'll see you next time.